In his New Year address, South Korea's president said he wants more talks with North Korea to resolve the country's nuclear issue and establish peace. Moon Jae-in's comments come one day after diplomatic breakthrough between the countries.
The denuclearization of the Korean peninsula, the two Koreas agreed upon jointly, is our basic stance that will never be given up.
Moon said the upcoming Pyeongchang Olympic Games should be a turning point for bringing peace. The North and South had their first talks in over 2 years on Tuesday. During the discussions, the North pledged to send a delegation to the Winter Games, and the two sides agreed to hold military talks in an effort to ease tensions. But the North's delegation made it clear denuclearization is not on the table. Moon also gave U.S. President Donald Trump a great deal of credit for helping establish discussions. Last week, Trump tweeted the inter-Korean talks would not be going on if he wasn't firm, strong, and willing to commit his country's total might against the North. A U.S. Republican senator who chairs a subcommittee on East Asia is weighing in on Tuesday's talks.
But there seems to be the beginning of a discussion or a negotiation, and I think it's probably premature to say negotiation.
Cory Gardner says North Korean leader Kim Jong-un will find it difficult to break the U.S.-South Korean alliance. Gardner added the alliance's common goal remains the North's denuclearization. The two countries have agreed not to conduct joint military drills during the Pyeongchang Winter Games. The senator says what happens after is up to Pyongyang.
If North Korea continues to insist on a nuclear program, continues to insist on threatening its neighbors in the South, and continues to insist on threatening Japan, then we will very much have a return to an unstable status quo.
Gardner says the U.S. is always ready to use military action if it's necessary. However, he said he doesn't believe any will be taken this year.
It's very important to point out that we have significant length left on the economic and diplomatic runway before any concept is discussed as it relates to military action.
Despite the talks, Japan's defense minister and the commander of the U.S. Pacific Command are confirming they still see North Korea as a threat. They say with South Korea, they'll continue putting maximum pressure on the North.
Bilateral defense coordination will support diplomatic efforts that are targeting the North. I believe we have common understanding on that.
Itsunori Onodera is visiting Hawaii to inspect a new U.S. ground-based missile defense system, which Japan plans to install. During the meeting with U.S. Admiral Harry Harris, he indicated Japan will boost its missile defense capabilities more quickly. Well, the Winter Games are less than a month away, and as officials and workers make their final push, they still have one big challenge: convincing people to attend. Pyeongchang is some 200 kilometers east of Seoul and is a popular ski resort. To try to boost attention, officials held a unique event, a marathon. A number of outlet stores have sprung up featuring Olympic-related items.
This city is drawing global attention now. I want to help improve the image of South Korea. I hope many people come to visit.
And organizers are hoping to draw in visitors from neighboring Japan, putting up Japanese language signs and trying to use star power.
To make the Games a global festival, I want to work to unite various people from Asia, Europe, and Americas around the world.
But ticket sales are still sluggish. As of a week ago, only 64% have been sold. Weak domestic interest and growing tensions on the Korean peninsula could be to blame. Hotels are also struggling. This is where events on ice will take place. More than 80% of accommodations have no reservations, likely because their prices shot up nearly 10 times normal.
So far, even a single room has not been booked, like many other facilities.
Ironically, a new high-speed train from Seoul is making it possible for visitors to avoid staying overnight.
A day trip is enough, and it's less costly to go back and forth on the high-speed train.
A task force has tried to address the problem.
Hotel rates have been lowered considerably, and they are now very competitive. It wasn't an easy task to use our administrative influence to stabilize the prices.
The games open on February 9th and will run for just over 2 weeks. Now, South Korea's president also mentioned the relationship with Japan in his address on Wednesday. Moon says cooperation between the two should be separated from historical issues. And as for the issue of those referred to as wartime comfort women, he says Japan should do something more to resolve it.
It is very important to improve the relations with Japan, but we should untie an inappropriate knot. The issue should be resolved on the basis of truth and righteousness.
Japan's top government spokesperson had this to say in response.
Japan finds it totally unacceptable that South Korea should demand further measures despite the agreement confirming the final and irreversible resolution of the comfort women issue.
Japan and South Korea reached an agreement in 2015 to resolve the comfort women issue. Suga stressed both countries should steadily implement it and added Japan has properly done that.